Good afternoon and welcome to this live broadcast of the Senate on this fourth day of the week, the date being 24th of February, the year is 2022, and this broadcast is made possible through the collaboration between the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in collaboration with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. The Senate Leader of Majority will be tabling the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2019, and the bill seeks to provide for development, regulations, and matters promotion of the sugar industry, to provide for establishment, powers, and functions of the Kenya Sugar Board for the connected purposes. The House will also resume debate on the Landlord and Tenant Bill, a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 3 of 2021. Having deliberated and made their input on the Landlord and Tenant Bill, the House will retreat into the Committee of the Whole, where the Committee of the Whole will be considering the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Amendment Bill, a bill by nominated Senator Naomi Shionga. A couple of motions also lined up before the floor this afternoon, and to just highlight some of them is the adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Matters Health on the special audit report on the utilization of COVID-19 funds by 28 county governments. That particular report will be tabled by the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Matters Health. The Senator Rose Nyamunga will also be moving a motion on recognizing and appreciating the elderly in the county governments. That the Senate recommends the county governments complement the efforts of the national government to assist in resolving the challenges faced by the elderly persons through developing mechanisms as well as policies through legislation. A total of 40 reports from the Office of the Auditor General in regards to how various county executive departments used their budgetary allocation for the year ended 30th June 2020. Nominated Senator Dr. Gertrude Musuruve will be pursuant to Standing Order 41 subsection 1, make a statement regarding the World Day of Social Justice. The Nakuru Senator, Senator Susan Kihika, will be seeking a statement pursuant to Standing Orders 48 subsection 1 from the Standing Committee on Matters National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. This is regards the fatal shooting of Mr. Simeon Thuku by officers from the Kenya Coast Guard Services at Karagita area in Naivasha, and the date for the occurrence of the incident is on Wednesday, 16th of February, 2022. The Senate Leader of Majority will equally be issuing a statement pursuant to Standing Orders 52 subsection 1 on the business of the Senate for the week commencing the first week of March. The business of the Senate will kick off any minute from now. Senator Rose Nyamunga is the person, or is the speaker, will be presiding over the House business this afternoon. I'm now handing you over for the live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing. Good afternoon.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants who've been pleased to call to the leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages.
Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 41.3, I received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage of the National Assembly of the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2019. Pursuant to the said standing order, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order 41.1 and 42 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2019 was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 166 of 2nd October 2019 as a bill proposing for the development, regulation, and promotion of the sugar industry to provide for the establishment, powers, and functions of the Kenya Sugar Board and for connected purposes. And whereas the National Assembly considered and passed the said bill on Thursday, 11th November 2021, with amendments on the form attached thereto. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41.1 and 42 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the said decision of the National Assembly to the Senate and forward the bill for consideration. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 157, which requires that a bill originating in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading in accordance with the Standing Order 139, I direct that the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2019 be listed for first reading on Wednesday, 23rd February. I think there's a problem. 24th February 2022. I thank you. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 41.3, I have received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2019, National Assembly Bill 34 of 2019. Pursuant to the said standing order, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2019, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2019 was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 57 of 15th April 2019 as a bill to provide for the regulation of assisted reproductive technology to prohibit certain practices in connection with assisted reproductive technology, to establish assisted reproductive technology authority to make provision in relation to children born of assisted reproductive technology processes and for connected purposes. And whereas the National Assembly considered and passed the said bill on Thursday, 25th November 2021, with amendments in the form attached thereto. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110.4 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby Assisted Productive Technology Bill 2019, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2019, the said decision of the National Assembly to the Senate and forward the bill for consideration. Honorable Senators, Article 110.3 of the Constitution requires that before either House considers a bill, the Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate shall jointly resolve any question as to whether it is a bill concerning counties, and if it is, whether it is a special or an ordinary bill. The constitutional provision has not been met with respect to the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2019, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2019. As such, the bill ought to be aligned to Article 110.3 of the Constitution, following which the bill will be read a first time in the Senate. Honorable Senators, in view of the foregoing, the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2019, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2019, as received from the National Assembly via the message dated Tuesday, 20th December 2021, will not be processed with in the Senate. I thank you.
Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable Senators, I hereby report to the Senate that a petition has been submitted through the clerk by Mr. Nafas Mengesa Menya of Mwamula Enterprises, Nairobi County. As you are aware, under Article 119.1 of the Constitution, and I quote, every person has a right to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority, including enacting, amending, or repealing any legislation. Honorable Senators, the salient issues raised in the said petition are, 1, that in the year 2011, there was an advertisement of a tender number MOLG/ESP/06/2021 to 2011 to 2012 by the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister of Local and a Minister of Local Government for the construction of economic stimulus project in Naivasha constituency. The petitioner applied for the tender on the 9th December 2011 and was later given notification of award letter for the construction of EPS market, which included market shade, office block, pit latrine, refuse bin, and water tank on the 24th February 2012. The contract agreement was signed on 14th March 2012. 2, that the Municipal Council of Naivasha was to supervise the project through the Office of the Engineer. On the 19th October 2012, during a site visit, the engineer requested the petitioner to construct waterborne toilet instead of a pit latrine. The resolution was forwarded to the Ministry of Local Government for necessary action, after which the addendum contract was signed to change the contract sum and works. 3, that the project was completed and handed over at a meeting on the 11th December 2014, during which it was confirmed as practically completed and structurally sound. 4, that on the 18th December 2014, a release of payment certificate was issued to the employer to pay the contractor Kenya shillings 3,206,617 Kenya shillings. 5, that the petitioner made several attempts in writing to on diverse dates to the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, and Urban Development, demanding for payment to be availed. 6, that the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, and Urban Development, State Department of Housing and Urban Development, has violated the agreement and condition of the contract, added them under 1. 6, that the petitioner has made best efforts to have the matters addressed by the relevant authorities, including the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, and the Commission of Administrative Justice, all of which have failed to respond satisfactorily. And 7, that none of the issues raised in the petition is pending before any court of law or any other legal or constitutional body. Number 4, the petitioner therefore prays that the Senate intervenes with a view to investigate any unlawful or discriminative actions perpetuated by the Principal Secretary in the matter. 2, recommend that the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, and Urban Development to pay the contractor the agreed amount of Kenya shillings 3,206,617 as per the contract agreement and addendum number 1, together with the accrued interest at 14% per annum. Number 3, issue any further advice deemed fit to give effect to the cause of justice, fairness, merit, and safeguard public interest. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 231, I shall now allow comments, observations, or clarification in relation to the matter for not more than 30 minutes. Senator Musuruve.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity to comment on the petition of Lenya. Honorable Speaker, I see a very complicated petition here. One, that there was a tender and the tender number is there. And then there was application and someone was awarded the tender. And in awarding the tender, then it means that a letter of contract was issued. But the complication in this letter, that was written, the contents of the letter, was he paid according to the contents of the letter? Because another issue that is upcoming is that an engineer is also brought on board who asked Lenny to do something different, meaning that whatever he was told to do was not in the contract. So this is a very complicated issue because it has not been treated in a transparent manner, and I see the manner being very opaque. And there's need to investigate exactly what happened, and even the fact that Lenny was going to the concerned offices and was not getting a hearing. There is need also to investigate what was he going for. Was it the initial tender that was given or what he did on the ground? So there's need to find out on the tender and what is on the ground to see whether it corroborates what was done before. And if money was paid, was it money that was just? I think, Honorable Speaker, you should go to the committee that you direct that it goes to, should do a thorough job and even do a visit at the, at the site to find out the truth of the matter and give a ruling that is viable, just, and fair to the petitioner. Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I support this.
Honorable Senators, I don't see any more interest on the matter. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 232.1, the petition should be committed to the relevant standing committee for its consideration. In this case, I direct that the petition be committed to the Standing Committee on Roads and Transportation. In terms of Standing Order 232.2, the committee is required in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of the reading the prayer to respond to the petitioner by way of a report addressed to the petitioner and laid on the table of the Senate. I thank you.
Order number 5, papers.
As listed, can Senator Majority Leader, Senator Pokisho.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, 24th February 2022. 1, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kiambu County Jijenge Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 2, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kiambu County Assembly Staff Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 3, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Ruiru Juja Waters and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 4, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Nauramoru Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 5, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Tetua Badea Waters and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 6, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Nanyuki Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 7, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Laikipia County Revenue Board for the year ended 30th June 2020. 8, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Laikipia County Executive Members Car Loan Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 9, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Laikipia County Development Authority for the year ended 30th June 2020. 10, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kapenguria Water and Sewerage Services Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 11, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Eldoret Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 12, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Kikuyu Water Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 13, report of the Auditor General. The financial statement was in Gishu County Bursary and Skills Development Support Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 14, report of the Auditor General. The financial statement of West Pokot County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 15, report of the Auditor General. The financial statement of Nanyuki Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 16, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of the Kwale County Trade Revolving Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 17, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Kwale County Disaster Management Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 18, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of the Kwale County Youth, Women, and Persons with Disabilities Revolving Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 19, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Taita Taveta County Assembly Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 20, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Taita Taveta County Education Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 21, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Baringo County Executive Car Loan Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 22, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Baringo County Executive Mortgage Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 23, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Coast Development Authority for the year ended 30th June 2020. 24, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Mombasa County Alcoholic Drinks Control Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 25, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Mombasa Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 26, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Mombasa County Elimu Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 27, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Mombasa County Consolidated Revolving Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 28, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Kilifi County Health Services Improvement Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 29, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Githunguri Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 30, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Tavevo Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 31, report of the Auditor General, the financial statement of Malindi Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 32, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Elgeyo Marakwet County Executive Car and Mortgage Revolving Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. 33, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Iten Tambach Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 33, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Iten Tambach Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 34, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Maranga Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 35, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Maranga South Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 36, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Karuri Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. 37, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Tana Water and Waterworks Development Agency for the year ended 30th June 2020. 38, report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Diani Municipality for the year ended 30th June 2020. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Senator Dr. Gertrude Musurube.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 47-1 to make a statement on a matter of general topical concern, that is the World Day of Social Justice. The World Day of Social Justice is observed on February 20th every year as an international day recognizing the need to promote social justice, which includes efforts to tackle issues such as poverty, exclusion, gender inequality, unemployment, human rights, and social protections. The main objective of celebrating this day is to raise a voice against social injustice and to bring the various communities internationally together to eliminate poverty, gender, physical discrimination, illiteracy, and religious discrimination in order to make a socially integrated society. Honorable Speaker, the day is also marked to raise voices against social injustice and to remove barriers regarding gender, age, race, ethnicity, religion, culture, or disability. The theme for the World Social Justice Day 2022 is Achieving Social Justice Through Formal Employment. Honorable Speaker, on 10th June 2008, the International Labour Organization, that is ILO, unanimously adopted its Declaration on Social Justice for a Fair Globalization. This is the third major statement of principles and policies adopted by the International Labour Conference since the ILO's constitution of 1919. It builds on the Philadelphia Declaration of 1994 and the Declaration of Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work of 1998, even as it expresses the contemporary vision of the ILO's mandate in the area of globalization. Honorable Speaker, Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." As we celebrate this day, I urge everyone in the society to take up the responsibility of being just and fair in all their endeavors. Frederick Douglass stated, "Where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe." Honorable Speaker, in India and other developing countries, millions work in informal jobs with little security and stability. Research suggests that workers crave the benefits that a stable job provides and would even be willing to forego higher wages to ensure a formal job. All people across the globe ought to have their socioeconomic rights despite their gender, race, ethnicity, religion, or physical being. As the world commemorates this day, it is important to be alive to the reality that more than 60% of the world's employed population consists of 2 billion women, men, and youth earn their livelihood in the informal economy. Informal workers often lack any form of social protection and are twice as likely to be poor compared to formal workers. Most enter the informal economy not by choice, but due to lack of opportunities. Without concerted action to encourage a transition to formal employment, social justice will not be achieved. Honorable Speaker, the principles of justice that we must all embrace include equity, access, participation, and rights, which are all interrelated in ensuring a fair and just society. I call upon both levels of government to ensure that they exercise the 4 principles of social justice in their leadership and governance in order to deliver services to Kenyans effectively, efficiently, and impartially. Honorable Speaker, in the Constitution of Kenya, Article 43, it clearly states that the socioeconomic rights. All people in Kenya have a right to access clean water, high standards of health, quality education, social security, among other rights. The national government needs to come up with specific policies that address these concerns. The policies need to cascade to the county governments for implementation fairly, impartially, and effectively for a just society. Honorable Speaker, as we celebrate this day, I would like to urge the national and county governments to develop a framework for building the capacity of informal workers and sensitizing them on plausible ways of having sustainable development from the resources they have in order to guarantee a non-threatening future. County governments need to have strategies in place that seek to eliminate barriers of exclusion of persons with disabilities, racial and gender exclusion, religious, ethnicity, as well as all forms of exclusion and discrimination. Honorable Speaker, leaders must endeavor to create an environment that will translate into a feeling of one nation, one people, one country. Happy belated World Day of Social Justice, everyone. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I will now allow comments. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Senator for Migori.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, social justice is very important. Madam Speaker, we all crave for a just society. We all crave for a fair society. And taking just one day off to think of where we stand, where we are, and what we need to do is very important. You know that society has several identities. We have people of different ethnicities, different religion, different physical attributes, different gender, different races, and all of them must have a common denominator called justice, and that justice is what glues the society together and allows it to advance in unison. Madam Speaker, I represent Migori County in the Senate, and Migori County is a county that has multiple identity. We have all ethnicities that we have in Kenya in Migori County. We have the Subas, the Luos, the Kurias, the Somadis, the Luyas, the Kalenjins, the Masais. We have many people in Migori County, and we need to amplify social justice so that as a county, as a microcosm of this nation, we are able to work together and to be happy together. A society where a section of it feel unjustly treated, a society where a section of it feel cornered, feel oppressed, that kind of society is unlikely to unleash its full potential. So, Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate my sister, Dr. Mzeruve, for thinking about justice. I need it myself, you need it, and we all need it. And since we need it and deserve it as individuals, we must promote it so that it's a shared goal, it's a shared dream, and it's shared among all of us in the society in which we live. I think social justice is what His Excellency Jesus was talking about when he said that he'll take us to heaven. It is the place where all of us think it will be found. So it's our duty to bring it right here on earth so that we have it in abundance. Thank you very much. I support the statement and I support the existence of that day.
Senator, Majority Leader, Senator Pogisio.
Madam Speaker, I wish to congratulate Senator Msuruve, who has become the House conscience on matters, international days celebrated. I don't know where she finds them, but she keeps giving us information about all the days that are to be celebrated internationally. So I'd like to congratulate her. This is a very important one, Madam Speaker. The World Day of Social Justice, Madam Speaker, is established in the year 2007 by the UN, so that it has been declared that the 20th of February, annually and every year, should be celebrated as such. Madam Speaker, some of the things that we focus on will be like poverty and gender and physical discrimination, illiteracy, and religious discrimination, among others. And Madam Speaker, these are issues that also involve things like modern slavery and human trafficking and other things like that. It's also become a conscience, a moment to think together how the international community can all work together to eliminate social injustices. And I'd like to pick on just this one of poverty. And the world, we can solve these problems if we all get concerted our efforts. Madam Speaker, right now, as we were saying, even in this House, the debate on the pricing of basic things it needs to be considered very seriously, because poverty just comes out of problems that have been sometimes of a natural nature. The other one is, of course, the illiteracy. And Madam Speaker, I come from a community that is basically still underdeveloped and still discriminated in that sense, because the schools are not well developed, the people have not had the opportunity to go to school, and so on. And I'm just thinking, Speaker, if we take this day seriously, we should be able to have either legislations or even petitions and statements coming out of this, so that we can begin to focus on how do we get rid of social injustices. And that is a good number of issues can come out of it. So I want to say thank you. We would appreciate that Senator Musurube continues to play that role of being our conscience in this matter. So thank you very much.
Senator Faria.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I also wish to thank Senator Musurube for making us aware of this day. I think social justice is important, and it is critical for survival of this country and all the other nations in the world. Madam Speaker, I also want to pick on one issue that is critical, and it is causing a lot of inequalities. In terms of, we've been advised that the world richest, because of the COVID, their net worth has increased. But as you're aware, most businesses some have gone down, others their resources have not been the same. And when businesses go down, it has an impact on what government can do, and on, because government relies on direct taxation, which is in form of VAT, or in form of corporation taxes as a result of profits, and all other incomes that it relies on. When the people who make that money are impacted by COVID, then the revenues tend to dwindle. And Madam Speaker, I just want to address this to our international community, our friends out there. As government, as society, as people who do businesses are affected, revenue generation is affected, and the ability, especially for the developing world, to service their debt, given the magnitude and the impact of COVID-19, it cannot be overlooked. So I urge our international community to have a little bit of sympathy to countries that are developing, to ensure that, in my view, if they waive both principal and interest for 3 years, that will give, because COVID has been with us now almost 2 years, and it hasn't ended. We are going into the 3rd year. So I think if they waive for 3 years, the next 3 years, it will give countries enough breather to ensure that they cope with the debt servicing, and we will see our friends as people who care about us, and people who want justice across all countries. Madam Speaker, why am I speaking about this vis-a-vis social justice? When revenues dwindle, then the money targeted for social justice will also be less. So the government will have less money disposable to ensure that those who are vulnerable and who need to be looked after by the government in terms of social protection now goes down, because the revenue is not the same. So any shocks to an economy, the people who face it first are the people who are less privileged. Even in terms of business, when there is a shock, those blue chip companies they might be having a buffer somewhere saved to ensure that when there is a shock like now, they can tap into that reserves. But unfortunately, smaller companies, SMEs, do not have those kind of luxuries. So even the small companies will go down, and poverty levels will go down. And as a world, we can only develop if all of us develop, because it is interrelated. It is, businesses are linked globally, and the world continues becoming a global village, which means the problem of one country will become a problem for another. So I think that is something that our friends cannot overlook. Madam Speaker, I support this statement, and I think both government, international community needs to look at, we have to meet MDGs. And MDGs can only, not MDGs, SDGs now. The MDGs failed. We have given ourselves SDGs until 2030. And if we don't develop as nations, there is no way one other, like the Western world, can develop without the rest of them pulling others who are going down. So it is my recommendation that because COVID was with us for 3 years, they need to give waiver of both interest and principles of loans borrowed by developing country. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Alake Abshiro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also rise to support Senator Musuruve, who, as usual, is amplifying the voices of the people that cannot speak for themselves through drawing our attention to the the International Day for Social Justice. The World Day for Social Justice, or International Day for Social Justice, has come about as a result of the social injustices that exist in the world, in our country, and everywhere else that we live and work and play. Madam Speaker, social injustices at the root of every social injustice is unequal treatment. And women, people with disabilities, and certain marginalized groups tend to suffer disproportionate social injustices. Madam Speaker, please allow me to just, being an election year and a few months to our general election, perhaps to highlight the social injustice of exclusion of women in representation and in political life. Madam Speaker, as we watch some of the goings on, especially from where we come in northern Kenya and other parts of this country, we're seeing heightened social injustice against women in the political space. We see heightened social injustice against women in the socio-economic space. We see heightened attacks on women and people with disabilities who cannot really defend themselves in the political space, which then exacerbates the social injustice that's meted on these groups. Madam Speaker, at the root of any social injustice, as I said, is unequal treatment. And social injustices have very many offshoots. They include discrimination. They include being locked out of a system that would have given you an equal chance, be it for representation or in political life. So I would like then to urge, deriving from this, our political systems, our political institutions to adhere to the political foundations or democratic foundations and our constitutional foundation as per our constitution, which guarantees social justice and our Article 43, and to ensure, especially in the political space, that discrimination, which is an offshoot of a social injustice, does not lock out the less fortunate, the women, the marginalized groups, the people living with disabilities, and the rest of them. Madam Speaker, as I said, the offshoots include tribalism, for instance, unequal distribution of resources and wealth, discrimination, But this does not really describe the sense of suffering that these communities or the people against which these social injustices are meted suffer. You know, we talk about discrimination against women. We talk about violence attacks on women in political space. We talk about women being paid less in every job they do. In fact, and I was very surprised as I go back home in Isiolo, where I'm meeting communities, I'm meeting women, I'm meeting people with disabilities, I'm meeting political leaders, I'm meeting religious leaders. And one advice I was given, very surprising, was when I was meeting the women, I was told to, if I'm to reimburse them bus fare, I should give them less than what I'm giving the men. This really surprised me, because then I asked, do the women get a different fair consideration? Do the borders take less money from the women? And they said, no, the fare is equal. But somehow it was said that the women should be reimbursed less. So, Madam Speaker, the issue of social injustice or social justice is one that's very topical, is one that, especially at this time, we should ensure we amplify the voice for the people that have been excluded, for the people that have been discriminated against, for the people that have been attacked based on their social orientation or their sexual orientation or their disability or their gender and the like. So as I thank Senator Musuruve for this, and as I also add my voice to this, I'd like to also urge our political parties to ensure that they don't become a center for social injustice. They don't become an instrument for social injustice by excluding women. I would like to urge them, because I am the chairperson for the Center for Multi-Party Democracy, not to pay lip service to the women of this country as they seek political office, not to pay lip service to the youth of this country as they seek political office. We want to see party primaries that adhere to the 2/3 gender rule, party primaries that ensure that there's equitable distribution of nomination seats to our youth and to our people with disabilities and to our women. We want to make sure that our political parties do not become institutions that actually entrench social injustice, for which this day was muted to ensure that social injustices are dealt with. Madam Speaker, I have sponsored a bill, the Preservation of Human Dignity and Protection of Economic and Social Rights, Senate Bills number 21 of 2021, and that's exactly and precisely the reason, because of the social injustice and the offshoots thereof, that this bill was conceived. And therefore, I would like to say we must go beyond just legislation, beyond legislative frameworks, beyond our constitutional provisions, to actions that actually show that this country is serious about inclusion and social justice, that this country is serious about ensuring that we move from what is on paper to what we leaders action on a daily basis to ensure that social justice is achieved in our institutions. And for now, our focus on our political parties, our focus on our political leaders, to ensure that they do not become instruments of social injustice in this country as we go to party primaries and as we go to the elections this year. I support and I congratulate Senator Musuruve.
Finally, Senator Naomi Shonga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the statement brought about by my sister Senator Gertrude Musuruve. Madam Speaker, I want to say that the statement on the World Day of Social Justice is a good recognition where, in a sense, where everyone needs to observe the day, especially in terms of distribution of resources, opportunities and the privileges that come with it. It's, not only at an individual level, but even as much as it is recognized, it should be recognized in the society and globally. Madam Speaker, the Senator has specified the objective of the celebration of this day, being celebrating the raise of the voice against the social injustices that have been brought in various communities. It is true that, Madam Speaker, when we realize this day, justice in itself should be attained by us describing or equating or coming together into barring anybody in discriminating or bringing marginalization of communities against any social or economical right that the globally people need. Madam Speaker, I want to say that in addition, when we look at the four areas or principles of social justices, when we look at the equity, everyone needs to have rights to equitable shares or equity in terms of opportunities. Probably when we look at maybe like job opportunities, we need to embrace equitable equity in job opportunities and like marginalizing other communities. When we look at access to maybe information or any other, that it should be cut across. There should be equal opportunity in terms of access to information, access to basic needs, access to opportunities, access to everything. And Madam Speaker, I want also to say that even when it comes to participation, every community in this global world needs to participate, has a right to participate, and even a right to have economic right in itself. Madam Speaker, I want to commend Madam Senator Musurube, because when we celebrate this day, then we are upping the game when by achieving the social and the achieving the social equity that we need, that the communities need, and we need to be aware to the fact that when he's supporting that, he's a champion of looking at people living with disability. There are those people who live in our communities who are discriminated even on line of disabilities. We need to, I want to say that I support the statement, and I urge Senator Musurube to continuously remind us of such important days in our lives, so that when we are celebrating, we raise the voice to the nation globally that we need to celebrate some specific days that are important and they really matter in the lives of human lives, especially on this world. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I support the statement.
Next statement is by Senator Susan Kiika. Online.
Number 48-1, to seek a statement. To seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security.
Senator, can you start afresh, please?
Okay, sure. Madam Speaker, I raise pursuant to Standing Order number 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the fatal shooting of Mr. Simon Thuku by officers from the Kenya Coast Guard Services, KCGS, in Karagita area, Naivasha, on Wednesday, the 16th of February, 2022. In the statement, Madam Speaker, the committee should explain the circumstances that led to the fatal shooting of a fisherman, Mr. Simon Thuku, by a KCGS officer in Karagita area of Naivasha while fishing in Lake Naivasha on Wednesday, 16th February 2022, or clarify whether there exists a shoot to kill order on fishermen making a living in Lake Naivasha, and if so, inform the House who issued the order. 3, state the action taken against KCGS officers who have taken part in the maiming and killing of Kenyans in Naivasha and elsewhere in the country, noting that 4 fishermen have been shot dead in Lake Naivasha since November 2021. Indicate plans, if any, by the government to compensate the beneficiaries of persons who have been killed by KCGS officers and compensate persons maimed by hippos or the families of those that have died through drowning while fleeing from the officers. 5, apprise the Senate on the sensitization forums held, if any, between KCGS and the Lake Naivasha stakeholders, including fishermen, to educate the stakeholders on their respective obligations in the management of lake resources, and if at all, state how many of such sensitization forums have been held. And 6, spell out the efforts by the government to better manage Lake Naivasha resources, including non-discriminatory issuance of fishing licenses to hotels around the lake and individual fishermen. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I will allow one or two comments. Senator Mbogo Chilo George Ayako.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to speak and support this statement. Senator Kihika has raised a very important thing. Madam Speaker, the right to life is what matters. In fact, taking away life of any person, taking it by authority of government, taking it by armed officials is something that should not be countenanced. Madam Speaker, globally, particularly in the US and in Europe, there are very serious movements against use of deadly force. In the US, there is a movement called Black Lives Matter. And here, although all of us, or majority of us are black, we still countenance the unjust elimination of people who would have otherwise been apprehended and tried in accordance with the law and in a court of law where their rights are defended. This is a grave matter that requires a serious investigation, and I propose that Senator Kihika, if she doesn't leave and become a governor, she returns to this House, this Parliament, and ensures that there is legislation in place where deadly force has been used by law enforcement authorities. There is an automatic inquiry by independent agencies as to the circumstance under which the deadly force was used. Yes, lives of law enforcement officers are as precious as lives of civilians, but it is ridiculous, it's ironical for law enforcement officers to be the ones in pursuit or in pretext that they are defending lives, they are protecting property, and also enforcing law to be responsible for the loss of life. Deadly force is only allowed if the life of that officer is under serious threat. Deadly force is only allowed if it is in defense of another life, or if there is a risk for serious violation of law by allowing a convict or a person under lawful custody to escape. But I do not understand how a fisherman or a fishing person could be of threat to anybody. In Migori, these incidents have been there, but I think they should be addressed not just in the instance of Coast Guards, but in the instance of all law enforcement agencies, of all police officers, and all uniformed officers. Because if we allow this to go unpunished, then the just society that we were talking about becomes a mirage. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I congratulate Senator Kihika for raising this very very important matter.
Yes, Honorable Senator, I'd ask you to be brief when you're making comments because we still have another statement. Senator Gertrude Musurube.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. allow me to thank Senator Kihika for bringing on the floor of this House this important act that happened. It is very unfair. And Honorable Speaker, there's need for interrogation to ensure that the fisherman who was shot in Mombasa, in Naivasha, is compensated for the unlawful shooting. And even when it comes to compensation, there are factors to put into consideration: the issue of family, because he had a family, the issue of children, the issue of school fees, the issue of all these. As head of family, the compensation needs to factor in all these, so that when the compensation is given, the family still moves on with life. Honorable Speaker. And to say also to Senator Kihika, she has come up with a very good statement, and there's need even to have a policy regarding, unfair shooting to citizens, so that there is insurance for that, and those who are insured. In fact, all citizens should be insured in the event of such shooting, so that they are indemnified, Honorable Speaker, because there has been careless shooting of innocent Kenyans all over, and the Kenyans, their families, they're the ones who really bear the brunt, and they live in pain as other people move on with life. So, Honorable Speaker, there's need for policies, and Senator Kika should go a notch higher and even come up with, a bill that will speak on this particular issue, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity.
Finally, Senator Halake Abshiru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also rise to support this statement and to congratulate Senator Kihika for standing up for what has become a very notorious happenings. Madam Speaker, 2021 saw Kenya having the highest number of extrajudicial killings and forced disappearances in the history of our country. 2021 was also the year we had COVID pandemic. So I was wondering how it is that when people are confined and literally in one place, how did they end up being killed, maimed, or forced to disappear? And such that we have the highest number of forced disappearances, killings, and shootings in the year 2021. And if the rate at which we are going, and if what Senator Kihika has mentioned with the fishermen continues, and we are very early into 2022, perhaps we might even break the record of 2021. And so where are we heading? We should be find security in our forces, in our police forces, in our security forces, but they seem to be becoming a source of insecurity at this rate, Mr. Speaker. The region I come from, of northern Kenya, especially in Isiolo County, we've had similar incidences of police or other forces, perhaps dressed up as policemen, being very trigger happy. We've seen a policeman by the name of Osman disappear, and I brought up a statement to the floor of this House. I have not heard back, Madam Speaker. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm standing is also to find out what is happening to some of the statements that we've sought from the Committee of Security in this House, because when people come with these kinds of statements, these are not ordinary statements. These are statements of life and death. These are statements of forced disappearances. These are statements of extrajudicial killings. These are statements that have maimed Kenyans. So they should be treated with the urgency they deserve, because we cannot be asking questions about our citizens and about our constituents and about our people, and then they don't see light of day. So I am wondering where my own statement on similar incident of a forced disappearance of a police officer from my county, Mr. Osman, has gone, how far we are with this, because we're just not bringing these statements for the sake of it. We're not bringing these statements to just be seen to be doing something. We want something to be done. And Madam Speaker, I urge you to please, as you assign this to the committee, to also remind the committee that we're waiting for answers for prior statements that we have sought from them. I support and I hope that the people find justice. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next statement is by the Majority Leader, Senator Pogisho.
Madam Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 52.1, I hereby present to the Senate the business of the House for the week commencing Tuesday, 1st March 2022. Madam Speaker, on Tuesday, 1st March 2022, the Senate Business Committee will meet to consider and approve the business for the week. On that day, the Senate will consider business that will not be concluded from today's order paper, as well as business indicated in the notice paper that has been annexed to the order paper for today. On Wednesday, 2nd March, and on Thursday, 3rd March 2022, the Senate will consider business that will not be concluded on Tuesday 1st and Wednesday 2nd March 2022, respectively, and any other business scheduled for the Senate Business Committee, including petitions and statements. Madam Speaker, there are 11 bills for the Committee of the Whole stage and 14 bills for the second reading. I take this opportunity to thank honorable senators for passing 4 bills at the plenary sitting held yesterday. The same are being processed for transmission to the National Assembly for consideration. Of the bills that are due for second reading, Madam Speaker, 12 have been dropped from the program of Senate business pursuant to Standing Order number 59. Number 59, due to unavailability of respective movers at the time of the orders were called. Unavailability of movers to prosecute the business poses a threat of stalling legislative business. The bills are: 1, the Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 29 of 2020, Senator Aaron Cheruyot, MP, and Senator Mwaura. The Political Party Primaries Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2020, Senator Dr. Isaac Mwaura, MP. Number 3, the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2021, Senator Judith Pareno. 4, the Coconut Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 24 of 2021, Chairperson, Standing Committee of Agriculture, Livestock, and Fisheries. 5, the Alternative Dispute Resolution Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2021, Senator Architect Sylvia Kasanga, MP. Number 6, the County E-Health Bill, Senate Bills of number 39 of 2021, Senator Judith Pareno. Number 7, Sports Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 40 of 2021, Senator Aaron Cheruyot. Number 8, Elections Amendment Bill, number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 43 of 2021, that is Senator Ledama Olekina, MP. Number 9, the Election Campaign Financing Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 51 of 2021, Senator Ledama Olekina, MP. 10, the Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Bill, Senate Bills number 52 of 2021, Senator Rose Nyamunga, MP. Number 11, the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2021, that is Senator Samson Cherarke, MP. And number 12, Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 55 of 2021. This is the chairperson of Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, and Fisheries. I urge the movers of these bills to make an appeal to the Speaker for reinstatement of the same in the weekly programs of Senate business. Upon approval by the Speaker, the bills will be allocated slots in the weekly program that is circulated every Friday, and accordingly scheduled in the order paper. I urge the respective movers to be available in the Senate whenever such business is scheduled in the order paper. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, there are 47 petitions that are yet to be concluded in the Senate. I urge respective standing committees to expedite consideration of the said petitions and to table reports +1 to Standing Orders 232-2. Madam Speaker, I thank you and hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 8, the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2019, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to provide for the development, regulation, and promotion of the sugar industry, to provide for the establishment, powers, and functions of the Kenya Sugar Board and for connected purposes.
Honorable Senators, we are going to defer order number 9, order number 10, order number 11, order number 12, and it's like order number 13. Honorable Senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, 1st March 2022 at 2:30 p.m.